Hello and welcome everybody. This is Joy Division back with another video of Online Scythe. So it's been a while, but I haven't stopped playing and the games are just getting even better. So y'all are in for a treat. This is a really special match because I'm Togawa Industrial. It's a combination I've been working on for a while and was excited to play it against some pretty talented players here. So as far as the matchups go, I have the Industrial board. I get the first move. We're also looking at Nordic and Rusviet. Now, my opening strategy here is all centered around trying to get a mill on this iron encounter right by my base. So I move, produce, move. And no matter what encounter I get, I want to try to figure out how I can get that 3 wood you see here in option 3. So option 2 and option 3 are both really good for me. That's going to help me get that mine. But that's central to my strategy here. Now this is a tough choice because I have 2 pop and 0 power. So a bit controversial that Togawa starts with 0 power, but that's just the way it is. I would love to take the worker and the wood, but if I do that, I can't produce. Now, I know I'm going to trade for 2 oil eventually to bolster, so it could be okay, but I think the best course is instead of paying the 2 coin for 3 wood, just take the pop hit, but decline the worker. This way, I can still build the mill and produce, and I won't have to pay that 1 extra power cost for having four workers. So great start so far. The plan that I'm going with here is to deploy 4 mechs and build 4 buildings. This is going to be tough to win. The biggest drawback I have as Togawa, there's a lot, but it's very difficult to get your endgame combats. Talented and experienced players often just stand outside of your reach, and since you can only move 1 square at a time, 1 hex at a time that is, it's very easy to avoid the IFA factions for fights. When you're playing Togawa, it's important to try to figure out where you're going to put your traps and what traps those are going to be. Now, if you notice, Nordic already has some pretty aggressive worker placement going on, and Rusviet is on the move. So I'm not sure what Rusviet was going to do here, because this encounter they got, they could try to go tier 2 popularity, or they could get a building, I guess. Tough to say. Yeah, it looks like they go with the 4 wood. We'll see what building they end up making, but I'm going to definitely try to trap that village tunnel there. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Where are you going to put your traps, and what traps are they going to be? The most important place for me is going to be the village tunnel, 1 territory next to the factory, and the factory itself. So I need to either plan on trapping the lake below the factory or the iron space right next to the factory. That way, if I lose the fight to take the factory, I can shinobi back within 1 move of the factory, because that territory bonus and the factory card itself is part of my win condition. I mentioned this before, but it's incredibly difficult to get those endgame combats if you can only move 1 hex at a time. So the factory card helps you increase your mobility enough to at least threaten more spaces than you could otherwise. All right, so the strategy is in full bloom here. We have our 3 workers on wood. We have 2 on the metal with that mill there. And we have 1 worker holding down that village. So the mill is going to let us do a lot of work here. We're going to be building and deploying every other turn. So I really like the setup here because it lets you move a lot, and the buildings will help me cover more territory. once we get going. Okay, a bit of a interesting strategy from Rustviet. They went straight to the factory. So they took township, and they built a mine, and they have a ton of workers on their village there. Usually with agricultural, wow, look at that. They go straight to oil. So usually with agricultural, you prioritize enlisting. But it seems like this strategy, oh, wow, great factory card for them. So they can get enlists without producing the food. All right, our second mech is going to be Shinobi. That way I can move into the lakes if it's to my advantage. Nordic has innovative, so they already have 2 mechs down. It's not going to be long before they start artillerying people and making moves to the center, which will be stressful. Our coin total's looking strong. We're already at 10. We're not going to have any enlists this game, which is pretty rare as far as general Scythe strategy goes. But again, I'm confident that this will get me in a position where winning is, a very strong possibility. So that the stars, if I can get those 6 stars fast enough, it shouldn't matter that I missed out on some enlist bonuses. Okay, Rustviet thinking here on what to take. It's probably going to be the 2 coin for 3 resources. That's usually one of the stronger options you can get. Nice, they take food. Yeah, so despite not producing any food, they're going to end up getting their enlist done somewhat soon. So I'm going to figure out where to put these mechs here. I need to try to trigger some Ronins. And the reason that is I'm about to run out of power. So if I cover a lot of space, protect my workers here, you can see I'm kind of shielding them from red and making sure blue can't pull any shenanigans. Because the worst thing that could possibly happen to me is I get all my workers sent home. And I can no longer have my engine going of mechs and buildings. So 2 buildings in and 2 mechs done. Wow, big move from Nordic. They're going for their first combat. Now, Nordic only has 2 mechs, but I just moved. So I'm not going to be able to attack him before they spend that metal. I wonder what Rustviet will throw. They have similar power. They both are pretty low on cards, I imagine. Now, Rustviet probably doesn't care if they go home. There's an encounter right next to their base. Oh, I forgot they don't have Riverwalk. Okay, that was pretty big. So 8-4. That's a lot of power spent by red. Hopefully that doesn't bite them. We'll see what factory card Nordic gets. Okay, mismatch resources for enlisting. Not the greatest, but probably will come into use. And I think they can upgrade as well, so that's nice. Yeah, the reason Rustviet threw so hard there is Nordic has the innovative board, so if they move, they can enlist by spending 3 food, and they would have spent Rustviet's food instantly. Okay, so we just produced down to 0 power, right? We have 1 more produce that we need to do, and that'll get us mech star, worker star, and all the lumber we need for that build star. So it's going to come together really nicely. However, on our upcoming move, we have to use our mechs to generate power, or else we cannot produce. So this is the one weakness in this strategy, is that you have no way to get power. And that's going to require you throwing stars at some players. Or, you know, if they have low power too, maybe you win a fight here and there. But chances are you lose. But the Ronin's all we need. We just need the Ronin to fire. That way we can get that produce, which is more valuable to us than a combat star right now. Our objectives are pretty tough. King of the Hill we are a long way away from King of the Hill, and tactical mastery is just never going to happen. There's just no way we're ever going to have that many combat cards. So King of the Hill is our only shot, which is going to look like Nordic spending a ton of power and us gaining just enough to take factory in that lead position. So Rusviet has taken quite a few encounters off the table, but we do have some targets for Ronin. Now I've got Nordic on the tunnel here, and I've got Rusviet on the oil. I'm probably going to hit both because the extra power is not going to hurt us. And I don't really care about sending these mechs home. The one thing I have to figure out is it safe enough for me to do this? Right? Is it risky for me to open up that access to the lumber tile? And I think I'm going to be okay, because nobody can instantly spend the lumber, and nobody really, really wants lumber either. So I think I'm fine. All right, so we're going to recycle this too, and we get some power. Okay, yikes. Nordic gets a very easy star there, but we got to do what you got to do. Rusviet's turn. Let's just throw the 4, see what happens. It was a bummer that we got a 2 after spending a 2. You never like to see that. Yes, okay. So we got power and a star. That's awesome. Ooh. These cards are awful. Like, we don't need any of these things. We don't have cards to spend, and we definitely don't need the building or the mech, because we're about to get those on our own. So this was a waste. Or it's not a waste, right? The extra move is key, but this was not the most valuable trip to the factory we could have had. Yeah, so the move here is to take the combat card for the 2 coins. We're probably never going to use it, but it will be nice to have the option to move that extra space, as that's probably the only way we're going to be able to finish the game on our terms. So Nordic produces, gets a worker star. We are actually in a great position here because Ronin got us up to 4 power and nobody has bolstered since. So I was very worried about how I was going to get this objective done, but it looks like unless Rusviet does something crazy, I'm going to be able to bolster for King of the Hill, which is so cool. Gosh. Yeah, I did not think this would happen so nicely, but yeah, Ronin's a special thing, very powerful thing. But again, we'll have to see what red does. They could get to the factory pretty easily, but instead they put their workers back on the table, looking to make a lot of metal. All right, that's our objective. That's a big relief because tactical mastery was never, ever going to happen. Okay, Nordic on the move. They will enlist. And they will get to the tunnel with 2 mechs. So they're not really an option for a combat star. So my best... Okay, wait, they're still moving. Gosh, even though they have a lone mech on the tunnel, like, we only have a 2, and that's so bad. We just need better cards, basically. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. We have a produce, and we have to produce. It costs a power and a pop, but we're going to get 3 stars, essentially. We finish our mech star right now. We get our worker star right now. And then on our upcoming move, we get our 4th and final building. So this is like the beautiful part of this strategy, is everything comes together on your move action. And if you want to get more competitive at Scythe, you want to try to end your game with a move action. So what that means is trying to place your 6th and final star while moving pieces, because that is the biggest influence you can have on the score of any game, is controlling territory points. So you can take territory away from other players, you can claim territory with your own pieces, and you can get combat stars, objective stars, bottom row action stars. So our build action is our move, and that is our final bottom row star. And we're also looking for combats, which is the top row action. So it could be perfect. However, we're Togawa, we don't have speed. Nordic has 2 mechs now on the tunnel. So it's going to be a longer game than 14 rounds, which, I mean, Togawa is never really in the place to be expecting better than that. So I'm okay with this. We have a great position from a territory perspective, and right now I have to try to get in a spot where I'll be able to win a fight. This farm tunnel here is great for me because it traps Rusviet, or at least puts them in a position where I can reach them with my factory move no matter where they move. So I'm trying the best that I can to be in a position to win with a combat. I'm going to build right now because I'm not afraid of getting pushed into 6 stars, because I am the score leader right now. But if I wasn't in the lead, you want to be very careful about going to 5 stars when a combat is your last star. Okay, Nordic on the move. So I'm in range of them, but the Nordic player is doing a great job keeping 2 combat units per hex. That's going to make it impossible for me to win a fight with them, because I just don't have the firepower right now. And I have no way to get combat cards. I did not enlist once this game. It's just not going to happen for me. So I'll have to somehow make this 2 work, and right now my best chance by far is a 1v1 with Rusviet, because they have only 3 power. So we'll see where Rusviet goes. If they don't move, it's game for sure. Because with Ronin, I'll be able to throw 9, and they can only throw 8. If we're talking about the main character there on the wood. Oh gosh. Okay, they jumped on us. I did not see that coming, to be honest. So we can win this, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're gonna bring more than 1 unit with that mine. Very slick. Yeah, okay, the move here is to throw 1 power so that we get another card, hopefully a better card. And now we can, have more options on the table when it comes to winnable fights. So Rusviet kicks us off the tunnel, but we get another 2. Awesome. Okay. This is going to be my best shot to win. And it's unfortunate that our cards are so bad. So if this doesn't work out, it really is too bad. But if we suit on here against Nordic, we have a good shot of winning. They're going to need a 5 to beat us. Okay, with artillery, they're going to need a 4. So hopefully their cards are bad as well. But we're going to throw the house and see what happens. Okay, awesome. We got the victory. Oh, so cool. Glad that worked out. Togawa Industrial, 15 rounds. Not every day you see that one. So, awesome game. I had a ton of fun. These players always bring exciting things to the table. And, yeah, Scythe is just an awesome time. So, hopefully those of you that have been waiting for a video enjoy this one. I had a lot of fun playing it and fun making it too. So, thanks again, and I'll catch you all next time.